Hello everyone, and welcome back again to the live stream. Thank you for being there. We have about maybe 5 people here between YouTube and Twitch, so it's always not that many people. So, well, trying to grow slowly but steadily, trying to get there. But hey, that's what it is. That's how it is. That's how it is. You know how it is. All right. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. I'm coming in. Oh my god. Yeah. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. I left the door there a bit open, and it usually starts banging. Sometimes starts bothering me. So yeah, just had to put the little thing behind the bottom there to make it not knock. But hey, yeah. All right. Here we are. So thanks for being there. Thanks for joining me. Well, you probably read the title. I want to start today with something that I want to begin today by answering a tweet that I received. I was tagged today with a tweet, and this is something that's, you know, in a lot of people's minds right now. So I just want to clarify my thoughts on it. I've talked about this already before. But seems people, you know, these live streams haven't had that many people coming in and watching them. So, you know, I know that a lot of people come in, you know, at least 100 people watch the video later. I know that's usually what happens, right? So we usually have about, you know, 6 people live at most, 7. Sometimes the other day we had like 15 people, but it was I don't know how many of those were real. It was weird. Nobody was talking in the chat, just like now. Well, now we have, you know, about 5 people. Nobody's talking in the chat. So, but yeah. Yeah. My intention is not to hype or to do anything or to you know, confound people about AI or anything like that. There's far from my intention here is to, you know, capture people's attention based on something that's hypey right now. No, the whole idea is, on the contrary, the whole idea is to sort of, you know, calm down a little bit, calm down the waters a little bit, because I think there's a lot of things going on here, and since people come and go, you know, some new people start watching the live streams. Some old people come back and start watching it. So I want to clarify what I think. And I received this tweet. I'm gonna read the tweet. I don't think I need to share the screen or anything. I don't know. I'm just gonna read what I got here, and yeah, yeah, because it's gonna be a mess if I share the screen. I don't really know what to do here. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna share the screen. Yeah. So I'm gonna share the screen so you see where this is coming from, and you can see it. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. There you go. No. Yeah. There you go. So so Sancha here, shout out. Said, you know, who's building Lovable for video games? Now, so this person is actually works for this research at Prime Intellect, right? They apparently do AI stuff, right? AI products. So yeah, they're thinking about AI. And Julian Blanchon said, Epic Game is reportedly working on adding Gen AI at every part of the stack. That sounds like something I heard, I think, say Tim Sweeney say. And I don't know if every part of the stack, but to some parts of the stack, definitely some crucial parts of the stack. And then Sam just said, we need something fresh, completely new, with AI as first-class citizen. Then Julian Blanchon says, hey, beardscript, so tagging me, what about Rogue Engine? What about Rogue Engine? What about those JavaScript games? Yes. So I am adding an AI layer to make it easier on non-devs and to improve the development experience in general, but it's first and foremost a development platform, and knowing what your app is actually doing still makes you 1,000 times better, right? So even with the new AI stuff that's going to be added, that's not going to be added everywhere or mandatory or anything like that. It's just supposed to be, hey, I need this, I don't know how to do it, well, I add this. But it's not supposed to be just click here and boom, magic. No. Julian going, I kind of disagree on some point. Well, because I think it was after my other message. I said something before that. And I think he saw this other post that I wrote was, AI to learn and make you more efficient? Yes. AI first and on everything always? No. And then, so he said, well, I kind of disagree on some point. A big share of vibe coder are just people that want to express an idea they have. Even if 90% is out of reach with vibe coding only, they only need the first 10%. Okay, and think about a 7-year-old child, for example. I was kind of confused by this comment, because why do you need only the first 10%? So I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to think like they're thinking about, okay, I'm thinking, I want GTA 5 in space with aliens and robots and spaceships, right? So I start, I do that, and that's the thing I want, right? And then AI starts doing a bunch of shit, but actually I'm okay with 10% of that. And that's what I'm thinking Julian was saying here. And at least I'm going to take it like it's that, because if you only need 10% of what you're doing, usually the hardest part is the last 10%. It's the last bit, the bit that you'll go, oh, I really need, to think about that. Oh, I didn't know I needed to think about that. I actually need to make money with this game. Whoa, fuck. I need to monetize this shit. How am I going to survive? How am I going to do updates? I actually need to publish this. Marketing. Fuck. What am I going to do now? So, you go crazy with these things, right? And so that part was a bit confusing. And think about 7-year-old children, for example. Why is a 7-year-old child trying to make a game like that with a prompt and having access to an LLM to do these sort of things? I don't know. Wasting, let's burn the rainforest for children. I don't really understand that sort of train of thought for 7-year-old children making AI shit. I don't really know about that, how that is really good. So I said, the way you reach that other 90%, thinking about, okay, how you get, if you think about it, well, when I wrote this, I think I was thinking about you only get 10% of what you actually asked for, right? So how you get to the other 90% to actually finish a game is if it's first a development platform, right? Because if the 90% is not achievable with Vibe code, then, well, you need that other 90% to actually finish the game. So how you do it, how you actually fill the skill gaps, well, you can fill skill gaps with AI, but you can't really finish the whole thing, right? Or do the whole thing. I'm not saying always or ever gonna happen for any sort of game, but depends. The more you start stretching the scope, and in general, if you don't know how to code, if you never made a game in your life, you usually stretch the scope. Like, anyone who's been a game developer and done any sort of game knows that you stretch the scope. You definitely stretch the scope. You make the scope so big you can't even fit in anywhere. So that's usually what happens. And yeah, I'm not a fan of the vibe code approach, and that is true. And that's why I made my product the way I did it, right? And I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. And I much rather that 7-year-old learn useful skills and not just believe in prompt magic, which is what I was talking today. It's not just about saying make game and make happens and game happens. No, it's about actually learning how things are put together, right? It's actually learning about, what a game loop is. Do you really want to never know what's inside the box? Or it's just a box that has a bunch of things and you don't even know what the box has inside? And you don't even know, you can't even make a little change without it changing completely, right? Because that's what happens, because it's just a predictor of text. So the bigger the prompt is, the bigger the scope of the prompt, the bigger the thing, everything within it is going to be a bunch of little details that you didn't take into account. And then the whole thing doesn't know how to keep that into account, how to grow into the new change that you need to make, right? So that little change that you want, that's what I mean, right? So, I'm sorry, I didn't even start my matter today. I didn't need to start this thing because, yeah. First one's always the best for some reason. Even though it's supposed to be the worst, I'm so used to getting the first one that it's usually I love it. So, and look, I'm going to be selling this product. Yes. The AI stuff is going to be sold. It's not free because it's not free for me. It's not free for anyone. So, hey, yeah, it's going to be sold. So I have a lot to win by saying AI is all you need and it's the best thing in the world, and maybe a lot to lose by being honest. I gladly take that loss, which is what I've been saying for a while now, right? We need to be honest with this. And yeah, and I said that I told them that I'd be talking about this in my in the live stream because I think it's important to talk about these things, to say these things, and to make them clear, to be clear about what we're talking about. When we say AI, what is it? What is the products that we're selling? What is the thing that we're doing? And to be honest about the things that we're giving to people, their capabilities, and there's a limit. I think there's a limit. And sometimes I think greed doesn't know about that limit. I think a lot of people are seeing now that they can say whatever they want. And whatever they say, because some bigger people, bigger fish are saying some of those things, it validates them to say things that get them more money. And more money. And more money from funding from people who actually don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And it just keeps spreading. They just keep spreading this money and the same lies to everyone for clout, right? And that's just dishonest. And I'm not saying AI is useless. I'm not saying AI, you can't do anything with AI. That's not true. That would be saying absolute nonsense, right? I'm very excited about some of the things that are happening. For instance, there's now this research being done about changing the token system for a byte system, and that sounds very exciting. But it could actually make AI much more efficient, and that could actually make it cheaper, and so many other things. That's fantastic. That's actually what we want. That's the kind of thing that make these things better. That's the kind of thing we need. Not saying no because AGI is near and you will be replaced. Come on. Really? Really? We can't stand staged videos. We can't stand them. I mean, have you ever gone through, just scrolling and suddenly you find this video and you think it's real, but is this staged or not? Is this staged? And you kind of bum down because it's staged. It's weird, right? Because it's supposed to be fun anyway. It was funny, or maybe rage bait. There's a lot of rage bait made up like that, but it's staged. It was supposed to be funny, but it's staged. And we're thinking that AI will replace that. We'll sit down 2 hours to watch an AI film. So we really have to think, why is AI really doing? Why are we thinking about films and thinking about music and thinking about you know, because the music is not really about the music itself, it's about the artist. You know, if it wasn't about the artist, about watching them live, playing live, then we wouldn't feel, we wouldn't feel arenas to watch someone play, because we want to see them. We want to, we want to see they're real. We wouldn't have these museums with paintings of people that have made them centuries ago, and we wouldn't go and watch ruins of places where people lived thousands of years ago, because we care a lot about what humans do with their hands. We really care about that. Software, it's kind of ephemeral in that way, because it comes and goes, and the parts that live about software, they live in our minds, and they live in the experiences that we have in our computers and in the videos, the things that others create. I think live streamers, people who live stream themselves, for instance, playing video games or using software or something, they give a new kind of life to a software, right? You want to watch someone playing a game? You want to play the game? Really? Will you watch a robot playing the game? Will you just sit there and watch the robot? Or you'll watch someone playing that game and dying and going back and doing all these things. Why? Why do you do that? You're not even playing yourself, but you're watching someone do it. But you're watching their reactions. That's interesting. So, I don't think we're really considering here the human factor and what's important to us and what's really important to us. We can't, when you boil everything down, we still need the human. What we really value is the human stuff. That's what we really value. So if AI can empower us to make more, and when I say AI, I really want to say this is just a marketing term. So I'm just saying AI, like saying AI for saying AI, but I'm talking about LLMs because that's the thing that everyone's selling, right? So when we talk about these things, can we talk about them like can they actually empower us to be better at the things we already do, right? Or are we talking about, oh no, let's make deep fakes because they're fun. Yeah, there are some fun deep fakes. Sure, there are some fun. Like seeing a politician say something, and and if it's a deep fake that is funny because it's funny, well, yeah. But it's just a stupid video, right? I don't know. It's just that one stupid video. So I don't know. I'm like I said, I derail a little bit here. I do that a lot. But hey, so my 2 cents to this discussion is that Rogue Engine will have an AI layer, right? An AI sort of the idea behind this when I say AI layer again, is just an LLM, right? It's just going to predict the next part of your JSON, because that's what it's going to do. The first version that I'm building now, so I'm building the interpreter for the visual coding part, and the idea is that it will be first optimized for the visual coding. Why? Well, because I'm assuming that the person who does this doesn't know how to code. So by making the visual coding part very, very, the visual scripting, I should say, much very optimized to be used with the LLM, then that will make it much easier for someone who doesn't know how to code and wants to use that element of AI within this context, to make games. It will make it much easier even for the AI to create those components or parts of the component, because the idea is that the AI will either create the functions that you will use within your visual scripting technology, within your visual component. It's just a little box that you can click and add your new function, the new action that was created by the LLM, by the AI, by the agent. It's called an agent. And the agent, that's what the agent is supposed to do. It's just supposed to help you, do this action that you don't know how to do. Okay, but you're putting things together. You know what the loop is. You know when things are happening and why. And you're telling, you're still using, you're still kind of building it yourself, right? So there are pieces, there are parts, algorithms, and things that you're not doing yourself, right? If you do know how to make them, then that's fantastic. But here's the thing, the AI is not even coding them, right? It will be coding the actions, but sometimes it will be just coding, because many of the things will already be there. So it will be using the ones that already exist, right? So it won't even be coding, we'll just be configuring the JSON, right? So it will be either creating small functions, like small actions, that will be used within the visual scripting system by you, or it will be just writing down the JSON for the interpreter, right? So writing down the visual script thing, right? So that's the key of how the solution works. And I think, well, I know because I've been working on this for a while now. I'm very, very I've been exploring so much shit with this that taking longer than I thought I would. I'm sorry about that. I'm very delayed, but it's worth it. It's worth it because it's fantastic. The UX is the part that most concerns me right now because it's very difficult. But like I said, I will never lie to you. I will never say, oh, this is the last drop of water in the desert. This is the all end all be all thing, and you're going to be able to make anything with it now, because there'll be errors and things. And so I have an announcement about this, right? So you already know that I'm making that. You already know that I'm working on 1.0. I still don't have a set date for 1.0. I'm very sorry about that. It's difficult, definitely difficult. But I have been thinking about licenses a lot. I've been thinking a lot about how this is how this works throughout towards the future, and I'm kind of I don't really like the subscription system. Some people have talked to me about this before. Some of you have come to me and said, you don't like subscriptions, and I wish you could buy this and that's it. And my thought was always like, but if there's no recurring revenue, it's really hard to predict, like, can I keep building this into the future? Like, so it makes it difficult, right? To kind of plan. But it's also difficult to plan when, there's people that come that just grab a subscription, then, say, I just want to support you once, and they grab a subscription. There's people that come in and buy subscriptions and just stay there forever. And maybe not even using it much or something, and I'm thinking like, I know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're reducing it. I don't know, but I don't know. Some people actually have subscriptions for a long time, and since the very beginning. And I know some of them are building cool shit, but some of them, I don't know what they're doing. So I was thinking, what if this was just instead of a subscription, it was just what would happen if I just sell it? What if I just sell one license? Let's just buy it and that's it. And maybe, major versions get an upgrade, a fee or something, and that's it. And I've been thinking about that a lot, because that's how it used to be, right? And that's how like sound software works. Like I've been using DAWs. If you've been using DAWs for a while, like I've used DAWs since, I used Cubase, and went through what's the name? Nuendo. That's the other one that's kind of like Cubase. Pro Tools, all that. And if you use these softwares before, that's usually how they work. You buy, and and then you pay for a major version. Then there's DaVinci Resolve. You get DaVinci Resolve is awesome because you pay once and it may be free. The next version is just going to be free. In general, it's going to be free. It's not guaranteed that it's going to be free, So thinking about a model like that would be really cool. Like where, okay, my concern was if people start using the AI, if this also includes the services, right? The problem is that if people use AI and use the whole lifetime value of the product, and then there is, there's you're using the AI into the and I keep paying for your tokens, and I try to improve the product, and I can't because people are not paying anymore because they already paid for the license. So now what do I do now? Now I have to pay for something that I don't have money for, and you keep using it. So that was also a concern, right? So I was thinking, okay, who's paying for that? So I thought, what if, because not everyone wants to use AI, I know everyone needs it, and you maybe don't need it all the time. So being conscious about when you need it and why. I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe your license has a certain amount of messages, and it comes with a package of credits that you can use for services. And okay, so it comes with, say, I know, I'm just saying this number out of thin air. I've been thinking about this for a while, but I still haven't set on a specific number here of credits or something. So think about this, okay? It's just in the air. I don't know, 1,000 credits for this license. This other tier of license has 100, 2,000 credits, and the other one has 3,000 credits. And then if you need more credits, you buy them separately. You buy, you buy a package of, pay $10 and get, 500 credits or something. So maybe you bought a license, right? And maybe a pro license or plus license, you bought it on a discount for $200, right? Which is the idea. My idea is to sort of say, okay, maybe it's I offer the first ones, offer them discounted at $200 or something like that. And then the services start selling them, like the AI, the credits for those services, like the ongoing services. I offer them for something like $10 or something like that. And that way, I make it so that you own the software, and it's not like this horrible thing where you don't even know if you're going to lose access to your shit or something. It's a bit concerning. I don't really like it. Oh, we have some comments here. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Morgan Shatty By is saying yes, and it is hard to stay in control of the creation smoke, I think, is it? Because it's JavaScript, remember? Yeah, but well, that's the thing, right? If it's a bunch of JavaScript that's just being generated, you don't really know what's going on. I mean, I think it's worse if it's C. I mean, here's the thing. JavaScript, it's okay. It's just some shit. It's just going to run like shit, maybe, but C or C++, that can just blow up your system. So I'd much rather be shit JavaScript than shit C++, something like that, some shit C. There's a midpoint. Mitzi here as well saying, yeah, I could only imagine how hard it is to choose your business model. This applies to every individual or company that is starting. Yes, it's absolutely disheartening to think about money. I think that's the way to go. I think the way to go is to have these lifetime licenses for the major version. And then, okay, if things are going well and I want to say, okay, you know what, here's a free upgrade, or maybe a discounted upgrade you get, you paid, maybe the full license is $300 and then you bought on a discount for $200, but then you get, you get to upgrade on a discount for $100, something like that, $150 or something like that. And you get, so you don't have a subscription system where you have to pay $200 and this every year, and you have to, you're waiting for that. So I find that horrible. I find that stressful, honestly. So I'm trying to look out for you. and for my health as well. I you know, for my well-being too. Morgan saying here, I built a JavaScript game, fell asleep, and it was itself now. Yeah, it had life now. I'd rather get donations from users instead of charging per month. Yeah, that's yeah, but donations as well. That makes it way more unpredictable, right? You don't even know what's gonna happen to you. I lived through donations for a while. I mean, Rogue Engine lived through donations for a while, but it was impossible. I mean, it's hard to predict what's gonna happen. I was thinking the same thing. We have SFR here saying, welcome by the way. I don't know if I ever had you here, mate. I was thinking the same thing yesterday. The next wave of AI apps will replace the need to pay for a dedicated AI that isn't flexible or capable to do specific things. The next wave of AI apps will replace the need to pay for a dedicated AI that isn't flexible or capable to do specific things. Yeah. If you're thinking about like ChatGPT making games or something like that, well, yeah, ChatGPT is probably going to be very limited to make a game just because of the context window. Just with that, you know, it may help you sort of get there to a place where you can make a game, but more specific thing where you can get like a few credits and, you know, make specific things where you get, you know, these specific components and these specific little things that help you get to a place where you have something useful. And when you have control of what you're doing, right? How do I give you more control while also not forcing you to learn everything? And maybe you start learning these things because you sort of, okay, you start getting yourself into you know, the shape of things. Like for instance, you know what a game loop is, you know what you start learning the concepts through using them, even if it's with the help of AI, right? And you're not writing code, which is the thing that most people are scared of, like code when you know, code is like CPU prompting. I love calling it that. I don't know, I'm coining that phrase. Code is CPU prompting, you know, or memory prompting, whatever you want. Beardscript, tell your users to send a donation to play to win, and they can play all time. Missy going, yeah, I think keep the donations open also on top of the one-time purchase of license. Yeah, that could definitely be. I mean, you could definitely yeah, send me a bunch of pizza if you want. a bunch of packages of sherbet. I know. I'll be happy to. Well, I can't survive with sherbet, but I'll definitely be happy with it. Well, depends on the brand. If it's Uruguayan sherbet and without sticks. But then again, the donations are unpredictable. Yes, 100% unpredictable, and it's really hard to live out of donations. Like the God-old model, you know. And you have this whole community that is like, you know, how is this going to happen? But you will survive. This is Morgan. Yeah, I will survive. We'll see. We'll see if I survive. I don't know. I think some other things are more likely to kill me than Rogue Engine. I'll definitely make it. What matters is the Rogue Engine makes it. I think that's what matters the most. Is that, you know, if Rogue Engine makes it, it means that everyone else made it, right? Like everyone else is making games. They're making great games. They're making great stuff, and you know, you're actually enjoying your experience making games, which is, I think, what matters here, right? I mean, what matters here is that I think game engines are supposed to be like, you know, empowering you to have more control of what you're doing. Because if you don't really know what's going on, then what's the point, right? What's the point? It's just, you know, say something and something happens, you know, say the magic word and here you go. You know, I think the point of creativity is also in the tooling that you're using, and you get ideas of what to do sometimes just by using the tools. sometimes, you know, you get an idea of how to do of a game because of something you learned. Like, I know you learn raycasting and you go, whoa, I can actually pick something in there. Whoa, you know, and you get these whole ideas about that, and it's so amazing, you know. Oh, as far as they're asking, are you gonna build an AI chatbot into Rogue Engine? Well, the chatbot thing is mostly going to be for documentation, like to go in through docs and give you, like, if you ask a question how to do something, so it's going to sort of tell you things like that. You know, so how to proceed in certain things. That's that's the only real thing that chatbot is going to do. Mostly specialized on documentation for the chatbot. But then the actual cool AI feature is going to be the functions for the visual scripting part, because the think a function, maybe a little function can have, say, an action, which is an action. The visual scripting has actions, blocks, and events. Some like, think of conditions like an if, or, you know, get input down or get input up, or, you know, things like that. And when you can create one of these, that's sort of you can create this yourself with code, right? And it maybe takes you, I don't know, 5 lines. You see, it's one of these. It's a very short, few lines of code. So it's something easy for an AI to build. Very easy. It's very specific. You know, you tell an AI how to make it, what the API is, and it's not a massive system. It's just a little thing, right? I started by thinking, okay, how can AI create a component, like a Rogue Engine component? But I started getting these massive components. It's really hard to make because the ideas get very hard to sort of put together with a component. Even with a component, when we're thinking it's a component within an object. But now think about when the AI is able to, instead of having this massive thing, okay, you have this little function, 5 lines of code that you can sort of grab and put together and say, okay, it goes here, and I execute it here, and I do this thing. See, that's where you have control of what the AI did. So the AI did the part that you didn't know how to do, but you know where that goes, and you know where you want it. And the AI explains to you how to use it. So it says, okay, you just add this and that, and that's how it works. Using the same core concepts inside Rogue Engine, right? I'm sorry, I'm lagging behind here. Whoa, I never had so many comments, I think. Okay. Adios here. Hello once again, beardscript, your colleague here and not a bot. Thanks, mate. Thanks for being there. Thanks again. Welcome back. And Missy here as well. Hello, Eddie. It's me, Missilace. You know, greeting the chat friends there. And Morgan, beardscript, go and build what I talk about live. Put the donation button on there to play what they want to build for them in the game world. Go make some money. Yeah. I'll definitely add a donation button at some point. Yeah. Definitely. Or I'll just leave a PayPal link, you know, and you can send me money on PayPal if you want. Starlit Frost saying, yo, what's up? How's it going? You remember me? Starlit Frost, by that name, not by thy name. Tell me what, maybe you had another nickname? I think I will remember that nickname. No, because Starlit Frost, I remember, it reminds me of Starling, something like that, you know, so I would remember it, I think. But maybe you had another nickname. I don't know, but yeah, the whole point of, by the way, we're streaming on both on Twitch and YouTube, as you can see in the comments. So, oh, I am digital artist. You can remember me now. I've talked to a lot of digital artists. So it's yeah, it's hard, mate. Digital artists. Oh, Discord. Wait. I think on Discord, well, yeah, I talk to most digital artists on Discord. But maybe are you What? Let me DM you again. Are you Lannon? No. Oh, Starlit. Oh, Starlit. Yeah, but you were doing some. Yeah, I remember you were trying to sell some AI stuff when you. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I think. I don't remember what you were. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. But yeah, I mean, okay. You're trying to sell something, I guess, services with art or something. Oh, you're the artist doing. Okay. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember now. Yes. You were selling you were selling your art. I remember that. Yes. It's which I let you post there in the Rogue Engine comments. The logos. That's it. But yeah, Edio said, well, welcome back, mate. Welcome back. Edio starts saying Twitch is faster with the responses, but are you planning to use any AI generation tools? Well, for code, yes. For art, no. I think there are other tools that let you create art. I am not a fan of the AI art generation, because because exactly that what you just said right now. For code, I hate stealing art. Yes, that's the thing. I have some ethical considerations about art. I think artists are probably the reason we exist as a civilization. And just stealing from them like that, to me, it's a crime. It's a crime. It's disgusting. So I don't know. I've been making music my whole life. Every time I see one of those AI songs that are popped out there, unless it's sometimes there are like actual funny songs, and I found that funny. I think that's funny. That's cool. Yeah, because it's comedy, and that's okay. That's comedy, and it's fine. I don't know if it's worth burning a rainforest for it, but it's funny. I much rather watch when people do those comedy acts, those sort of make a song that resembles another song to make funny thing. I think that's much more fun. I sit down and listen to that. I watch that. I don't sit down and watch AI art. I wouldn't sit 2 hours to watch your stupid AI film. Who would sit down? Imagine you can prompt down a 2-hour film that's something you thought about, and the plot. Nobody's even gonna read the plot. What is it about? Nobody's gonna care, because there's nobody involved. Who fuck cares? You care. Think about this. There are some impressive films being built out there. Some incredible films. There are indie films, right? By small artists that have made this incredible stuff. And think about that for a second. Nobody knows about those films. Very few people know about those films, at least, because they're foreign films, right? They're not Oscar worthy. Or they go into the foreign stack of films in the Oscars or somewhere, right? Where do those films go? Who watches those films? Well, very few people, right? Because you care about this actor and this actress that go into that film. That's what you care about. That's what you care about, the people that are involved in something. Because it has that tag name, because it says Star Wars, because someone invented Star Wars, and you want to know about Star Wars, and then Disney grabs it and fucks it up. You go, oh, fuck Disney, and and all these things happen. It's all about. It's not about the art. It's not about the thing in itself. It's about the people involved in it. It's about the story behind it. It's about how they made it. If an AI made it, if someone prompted it and that's it, then who the fuck cares? I don't care about it. I don't want to know it. I don't give a shit. I honestly don't give a shit. Oh, Morgan here says, what you needed was the Automator app on MacBook. This program can learn how to write JavaScript code the way you need it to, in order to artificial intelligence to write JavaScript for you correctly. Probably not better than me. Nobody writes better JavaScript than me. And yeah, brain rot looking content. Yeah, 100%. Like the most brain rot content you can ever get. You get it from that. 100%. Like some AI stuff is okay, you know, like some of the AI shit art that's going on out there, you know, it's mostly when it's intended to be funny, like memes. Sometimes they're good, you know, sometimes mostly because they're intended to be good with within the AI context of things, right? So someone made it thinking, okay, it's going to be funny because it's AI. It's not going to be funny otherwise, right? So I think that's what makes it funny and cool. Otherwise, why? To what did I just walk in? Says Captain Chica. How's it going, Chica? How's it going, mate? Welcome to the AI talk. We're talking about yeah, you should go back to the beginning and watch the whole thing, because we were talking about yeah, some of the some comments I received on behave yourself, sailors. Yeah, we're talking about some of the AI stuff that we've been I received some comments about AI and if I were going to include AI within Rogue Engine, and I explained my thoughts about it again, because I had already talked about this long ago already. Well, long ago, a couple of months ago, two months ago, I think, 3. And yeah, I'm just restating my thoughts, reformulating them. Oh, we have another bot here saying that we have cheap viewers and some string, I don't know what. Yeah, please go away. Yeah. Mr. saying Beardscript was a musician. Beardscript was a musician. Beardscript is a musician. I am a musician. You never stop being a musician. You're always a musician, because I'm always making music. I'm just sitting down with my guitar and making music, you know. And yeah, hi, my little keyboard here. You can see a keyboard here, right? You can see the last keys of the keyboard here. And yeah, I'm always making shit. I don't know, you know. I'm always having fun with music, and I've been playing music and doing stuff since I was, I don't know, maybe 4 or something. I don't know. It's my first, like I said, like the song says, right? Music was my first love, and it will be my last. It says, right? So when I die, I'll die loving music, and I'll, you know, it's just like I was born loving music, you know. I suck at programming. Hey, glad you're feeling better. Thanks, mate. Thanks for being here, mate. Yeah, I'm feeling much better. I still have the ringing thing. I don't remember the name of the sickness thing. It's called tubular. I don't know what the muscle something. And some I call them low frequencies. They make my ear ring. And so I go like, get startled, you know. But the first, like at the beginning, I was like going to the side because I was feeling out of balance. Meets going. I never knew that. That's amazing. Yeah, I trained. I'm actually a trained lyric singer. I trained in the Uruguay's music institute thing, you know, in the university Uruguay or Montevideo, and yeah, so that's my dark past into music. I'm a trained baritone, actually. So that's you know, and that's what happens when you do music and you code. You choose to code because it's because you have to eat, and you have to feed yourself, and yeah, that's how it goes, basically, right? But yeah, so yeah, there you go. So what's that question? Is there a backstory to your hairstyle? Is it related to your pursuit of coding? Yeah, probably. There is probably a stress. No, it's just family genes. Both my grandparents, my mother's side and my father's side, they're both bald. Yeah, my dad has a lot of hair. I haven't seen him since I was 16, so I don't know how much hair he has right now. But my uncle, I have seen. I do talk to him often. My uncle, my dad's brother, he's just as bald as me. But before I had my hair like this, I have some hair, but it's just faint hair. And I used to have a mohawk, like a very wild mohawk. It was very nice. Yeah, but just I lost like a finger of hair here. I was like, nah. Yeah, and it was already kind of see-through. And when it's going see-through, you say, bye-bye, mohawk. It was so nice to have you, and I loved it. I was so happy with my mohawk, and I had to say, adios. Adios, baby. And yeah, no more mohawk for me. Look at that. Yeah. And I took a program saying, I got late to live. Are you gonna play with AI this time? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna play with AI this time. But I did have a nice talk about AI and my thoughts about what I'm going to build about with AI. I talked about licenses. I talked about the future of the licenses and what that will entail for the AI layer of Rogue Engine that we will have, and what it will do and how it will work, and yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, I recommend going back and watching the beginning there, because I think it was interesting. I responded to a tweet that I received, and that kind of prompted everything. We did like a whole thing there. And Lex Luthor saying, no, Lex Luthor didn't say anything. Edius saying Lex Luthor also has a backstory, hence why I asked. Yes, but Lex Luthor was. I don't want to be Lex Luthor in this story, please. I don't want to be the bad guy in the story. At least not for now. If I ever, you see, like I always said, right? Like I said in the tweet, if I wanted to be the bad guy, I could just say, yes, AI, we're gonna dominate the world. Yes, buy my shit, because AI is the best and the last thing you ever need. But no, I'm gonna be honest. I'm actually gonna play honest here. I'm gonna lose a lot of money for being honest, but I don't give a shit. I'd rather have my dignity, I'd rather people don't hate me. I don't know. I guess that's why I'm first a musician and then coder and an entrepreneur, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I took a program and saying, yeah, same here. I'm a musician since I was born. Nice colleague there. And I'm a software developer for the past 15 years. I love programming both because it pays the bills and it's fun. Yeah, and mostly when you're making games with it, right? Because that's the thing, right? That's the thing about it's not the same coding when you're coding like I'm just making this backend. You're a coder and you're a backend engineer processing. I don't know what the fuck and thing and I process data and that's who wants to do that? Who the fuck wants to do that? You learn to code because you're a gamer, because you're playing games, you're playing Doom, and you were like, I want to make this, and then you end up working in the stupid data processing thing, plant and making, or you sometimes end up working in some really cool shit, where you can kind of use those skills that then end up making you make that super cool game. But sometimes it's just about, hey, pay the bills. It depends. But yeah, nice to see you. Another colleague there, another artist, another musician there. I loved everything about art. I used to paint. I used to do all this shit. And and then you end up just going for, the thing that, okay, this pays the bills and gives me money. Pays the bills and also makes me happy. And yeah, that's what if you can settle on something, some ground there, something you can obsess with. Like, for instance, Rogue Engine is something I can obsess with. I always find something I get very, very obsessed with. And I think Rogue Engine has been my longest obsession so far. I think, like project, like obsession, like I'm very obsessed with. Even when I am like thinking, shit, I hate this, I still say I have to do it, and then I start loving it. Like, again, like I have my moments of hate, love, and hate, because I hate the moment I'm in. I don't hate the project, I don't hate Rogue Engine, but I hate the moment I'm in. But I feel the sense of responsibility, and I think like, well, there's people using it, there's people paying for this, there's people actually, needing this, and I know the world needs this, so I need to make it. And I go like, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. Fuck my feelings and my want to just bury my head in the sand and just go and build it. Yeah, I don't know. Dunbar Wren here. Dunbar Wren in the house. Look at it in there. Rolling in. Thanks for being here, mate. Pre-post AI era, same as hunter-gatherers versus farmers transitioning. Paleolithic, Neolithic lifestyles. We're settling on land of AI instead of harvesting wild bushes, then harvest our new digital farms. It's just so we have something to harvest from. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of how we use it, right? It's a matter of the learning, right? That it's a tool, and it's not an end all be all. It's not a that ends my point, right? It's about understanding where to use it and how and why, and knowing, where the value is and where the value isn't. That's the most important part. Where the value isn't. But I think what's most important is learning where the value is for humans in general, right? Because there's a value in creation itself, just for the sake of creating something. And then there's, the value of, and when I say creating something, I don't just mean that the thing exists. I mean the thing you built, right? The thing you made. Think about a house. You love the house, but think if you had actually put all the bricks in the house. You will love the fuck out of that house. Like, oh my God, that house. I just put every brick in it. Like, there's a different sort of love to that. Like a satisfaction that gets tied to it, I guess. That it's very personal. And if you've been creating shit all your life, you kind of feel attached to that feeling. You know that feeling, you recognize it. I think that's the important part of it. But yeah, it's a matter of then, we change that maybe, we sort of direct it to something else as well, right? I mean, it depends. Things are always very shady in a way, right? They fade, come and go. And they change. Our perceptions change too. Yep, hitting a wall. I suck at programming, and hitting a wall always feels like shit, even when you're doing something you love. But it is easy to keep going when it's something that you love. Yeah, it gives you the right momentum. Definitely. Mostly when you feel like, I think, like some sense of responsibility and I mean, and sometimes when you sit down and actually realize what you were doing in the first place, I always like end up re-falling in love with the idea, I guess, because I go back to like stuff that I was making. I go back and try to make something fun and realize, oh, this is actually fun. This is nice, and I know why I'm making this. I know why I'm building this, and try to like fall in love with the whole thing again. And it happens every time. I think it's the longest I've falling in love with something and being obsessed with it and haven't stopped. And even in the harshest of times, and I couldn't do it without you, by the way, with every one of you who, those of you who use it, who share stuff built with it. That's like people sharing on the internet the stuff they build with Rogue Engine. Like every time I see someone like posting something, I built this Rogue Engine and this thing I built and all that, it kind of fills my heart, mate. It's just sort of, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of, it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling, you know? I get emotional. I get like, it's strange. I can't even describe it because it's really, truly emotional. It's a deep feeling. And I wouldn't feel the same way if I hadn't go through all the struggles I've been through with Rogue Engine, right? It's not the same thing. It's not, oh yeah, I built this shit, this tool, and I built it 3 months ago, and now someone's using it for something. Oh, cool. But no, after everything I've been through, sort of seeing people build cool shit, it goes like, wow. And there's people paying for it. It's like, wow. Like, you actually love this that much. And to me, that's like, nah, that's just, I can't be more thankful. That's all I can say. Like, really, truly, it's unbelievable. And Miss is saying it's the intention behind using AI that's dangerous. Yeah. And let me add to that. It's the intention behind the people selling the AIs. Because that's the dangerous part. And that's the part that bothers me. It's not the... the tool is really good. The tool, an LLM, it's actually really good. The first time I used AI, back then it was called machine learning. And we were using it. I was working in a company, we were using it to gather, it was big data at the time, right, for devices. It was analyzing data that was coming from devices to learn when devices were going to break or need maintenance, so that we could raise flags for companies, like when their devices that we provided to them, like industrial devices, where those devices were going to break. So you actually create this prediction algorithms thing, right? That sort of says, okay, you this yellow flag, says, hey, this may break, so go check it out before it actually is a red flag, and when there's a red flag, there's a red flag, So that was 2018, I think. 2017, 16, we started actually thinking about these things. And 2018, 19, we started selling it. To give you an idea, this has been around for quite a while. It had already been around for a while when I was doing it then. So it only boomed when OpenAI released ChatGPT. Otherwise, we'd still be in the same place we were before. And we'd still be using it for the useful shit and not for the whole cloud chasing, hyping of it. It would just, in the last, think about it, was 2022. The ChatGPT was 2022, but the actual boom happened in 2023. So it's only been 2 years. And it's been so much investment in, not in the things that AI is actually doing really good, but in the chase of AGI and, and farms of this thing. So let's think about this, the tools that we need and why we need them, and not just AGI. Who the fuck wants AGI? I don't want AGI. Thank you very much. I don't care about it. Let's talk about useful shit that we need, and some people talk about this like it was robots, no, you can actually have a vacuum that, an automatic vacuum that maps your house and knows where to vacuum and where not to vacuum, right? Because it already exists. You can map out a room, scan it, and know where to go, where not to go, and map it down. And you don't need an LLM for that. You don't need to burn down rainforest for it. So yeah, I don't know. There are things you need AI for, and there are things you don't need AI for. It's like crypto, right? There were people building some really useful things on the blockchain, and there was a bunch of people that came in and said, "We're gonna change the world. We can change the world," and blah blah blah, and they started scamming people. And yeah, just grabbing onto anything and saying anything, and earning millions and millions and millions, just feeding off the tit of VCs, and VCs being brain dead, and just giving out money to stupid people, scammers. I don't know. This is a horrible business. Startups is a horrible business, honestly. But there's really useful people, and there's the useful idiots, and yeah. So yeah. And the VC world is the worst shit of it. It's the worst shit of it, really. Worst kind. You have I can count probably one hand to VCs that I talk to that I think, oh, this is a nice guy. And probably I'll have some fingers. I'll still have some fingers after I stop counting. I started programming saying, for me, it was charging like $1 for something that I made. Yeah. It gives you a level of responsibility that it changes you. Not exactly because of the money. Yeah. When there's an exchange, it kind of puts you in that kind of change that you lock into a different sort of mechanism in your brain, I guess. It's like your brain goes into this is real mode kind of thing, right? Yeah, I guess. Oh, Tambo Ren here saying, not long ago, intelligence was a wild animal, and it was hard to catch it and eat. Now we domesticated intelligence and produce more knowledge and progress, but it's more like a farm. There's little art. Yeah. Yeah, but that's sad, isn't it? That's a bit sad. We've lost a lot of the concept. We also lost the concept of art in building, for instance, right? We used to have beautiful buildings. We used to have it's incredible, right? Because we go to these like Roman sites and watch the beautiful buildings and structures and things we used to build, and now we have these beautiful boxes, right? They're kind of and they look horrible. They're not artistic. They have no meaning. And they're kind of useful, useless sometimes. And sometimes they even just break with a little, pick, and they go. So they're easy to make, maybe. But you still can't have them because a bunch of people buy them and they rent them to you for a lot of money. And so there's the concentration of capital, right? And there's that whole issue there, right, about who owns all that shit. So it's uglier and you can't even have it. My grandparents had a house that was absolutely stunning. It was from the beginning of the 20th century. So it was 1905 in Uruguay, Montevideo. It was like post-colonial home, right? It's a post-colonial beginning of the century, so the kind of Spanish sort of house, big, beautiful. It had this like dungeon below. It was amazing. And they improved it. They did a lot of shit. They bought it for nothing. They bought it very cheap. And everyone lived in the house because it was big. Like all the family lived in that house. I lived in that house. And I lived in the dungeon. I actually lived in the dungeon when I was 1 year. No, I was less than 1 year old, and I lived in the dungeon. It was a nice place. It was a nice dungeon. it was like a basement, but it wasn't really a basement. Then they turned it sort of into a dungeon when my uncle made like a carpentry down there, and it looked like a dungeon. But I did some filming there of stuff back in the day. The first cameras. Dungeon looking films, but memories feeding into my brain. And that was a beautiful place, and now houses are nothing like that. The walls were incredible. I remember the art in the walls. Like the walls just had like this beautiful tiles, in like all these beautiful tiles around the walls. I mean, who makes that anymore? Nobody makes that anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody cares enough, I think. I don't know. It's beautiful. I don't know how it is right now. They sold it long ago. I know who's there. I think my family knows who's there, but I would love to see it now. Really, how it's looking now. I'm sure they destroyed it. I don't know why. I think they probably ruined it. But the facade of the house is beautiful and all that. I don't know. Nobody makes those buildings anymore. So I think art is important. Like beauty is important, and only I think it requires certain sensibility to kind of tune into those patterns. Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing, the primal thing that makes us human, I guess. I'm to saying, yeah, it's about what Dan Balren said. Yeah, it's wild how far we've come with the boom of AI for better and worse. Yeah. What the thing is, of course, that there's useful stuff, right? But like I said, it's one thing if there's someone behind something, and that someone, why do you watch a film? It's because there's people involved in it, because some people are involved in it. Some incredible films are not being watched because there's no famous names in them. And nobody famous said, yeah, this film is fantastic. We love it. Yeah, just critics going, yeah, this film, everyone should watch it. and then you go to a festival and they're praising that film, and then in the Oscars they don't give a shit. And then it's just a film that made a few $1,000 or something. Yeah, okay, that's okay. Because they didn't spend that much, maybe. But then you have these massive productions of things, and maybe it's a shit film, but it's produced by, these famous, incredibly rich people, and, they're paying these massive salaries to these big stars, and everyone loves that film, and that film made millions and millions and millions. But, sorry, everyone loves that film has been made, but not everyone watches that film. Maybe it's shit. But everyone who goes and watches that film, they spend 2.5 hours watching a stupid thing that nobody really liked. Right, and they get all this. The film is about the press conferences. It's about the actors. It's about the people involved in it, and the whole cloud chasing around the film. That's never gonna end. We're still gonna like that. It's just like we don't like, So content made by people, like people behind the content, are more important than the content itself, because you still follow the creators. You go like, oh, I love this thing made by this person, right? I don't love Red Hot Chili Peppery music. I like Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? Say, you like watching them play live, and you like how they are, and I like how Flea plays the bass, and I like the, not just the beats or the bass itself, right? I like watching Flea play the bass, something like that, right? I don't know. So you think of Hideo Kojima. Think of Hideo Kojima. Right? If you're a Hideo Kojima fan, Hideo Kojima makes a game. You're going to play that game. You're going to buy that game. You're going to pay $80 for that game. $100, $150 for that game. You're going to buy a console just to play that game. Say no to that. What if I tell you the game is made with AI, and it's not Hideo Kojima that made it? It's just some other random thing. Oh, a game made with AI. Would you buy a console and pay $150 to play it? So, it's another thing is Hideo Kojima made, how Hideo Kojima made the game. You don't really care about. You care about Hideo Kojima making the game because he's a proven game developer, right? But random X person made game, and it's all made with AI. Are you going to spend your time with it? Are you going to buy it? Are you going to, do anything with it? I don't know. I'm skeptical of that, right? I think so. Saying AI for everything puts you in that position where, people start wondering, is this made with AI? Maybe I don't buy it because it's probably AI, right? Where if you say, okay, yeah, AI is just a tool that we used to have in our belt. Okay, that puts you in a position where you made it. right? You didn't prompt it into existence. No, you actually put it together. Yeah, some of the parts were made with AI, some algorithms, some bits here and there. But the whole thing, the whole, like the product itself is built by you, by your hands. You actually put shit together and you made it happen. That's what matters. And I took a program and said, I'm from Brazil. Oh, nice. We're neighbors. I'm from Uruguay. And, well, you know that already. I think I told you already. Yeah, you probably know. And I saw the cities becoming uglier and uglier. Yeah. Whenever I see a house with a character with mosaic floors or those old gates, I need to stop and look because I know it's rare. Oh my god, I feel the same way. Like, yeah, it's I hail from a neighborhood in the north of Montevideo where still some of those houses are still there, and it's incredible to see them there. You know, like still standing, beauty. And there are some neighborhoods that still have those houses, and it's and some parts, like in some parts, they have been demolishing them. It's so disheartening to see like patrimony of a country just going away. Like some houses are still there. You know, I've been there since colony times, and you think, you know, colonial times, someone came here and it's this place that was windy and horrible at the time. You know, it was wild, and it's built a beautiful house in that place. It kind of bet on the place. You know, and it's just gone. No, it's so disheartening. And they put a horrible block building there, and there's no character at all. They just put that there, and it's just shadowing, and just shadow. It's just a long shadow, and that's what it is. It's a long shadow. It just gives nothing, because it just makes someone very, very rich. That's the case, right? It's very expensive. People are not going to buy it. What's going to happen is someone's going to get, you know, charged a lot of money to live there, and someone's going to get a return on their investment. Some rich person is going to get a return on their investment. That's what it's about. It's not about giving people a place to live. You know, that's not the point. The point is make it cheap, cost effective, so that I can get a return on my investment. That's the point of it. There's no art, nothing, then nobody cares. It's just a return on investment. That's what it is. And Mr. Saying, I have high hopes that AI will not replace everything. 100%. I agree with that. And there's just something different if you know a human made it. After all, humans are social animals. Yes, we care about what we do. We care about ourselves. We care about you. We care about me. Otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? Why are you here? Just go and make something. Go up, prompt an AI. Just tell him what would bscript say. You know, it's just and you know, probably if they've been reading some of my shit and maybe it goes, oh yeah, it's just give you a live stream. You know, I prompted live stream, and maybe I am an AI. Maybe I'm a bot. Maybe I'm just talking about this. Maybe this is just all AI. Am I a robot? Are you being tricked by an AI right now? Look at that. What AI program do you recommend to aid me in my Rogue Engine game? Says, this is a god dream. How's it going, mate? You have Gohan there. You have Gohan Super Saiyan there on your thumbnail there, and I don't remember the name of that profile picture. Oh my god. Forget the simplest of words. I just forget them, right? Just slide by. Right now there is, I think, nothing that can help you with Rogue Engine itself. What I recommend is that check which ones are the best at giving you the best three.js code, and that you use the three.js parts within your Rogue Engine code. The problem is that right now no AI really knows how to use Rogue Engine, so you can't ask them to, you know, create a Rogue Engine component. They're going to create some shit that is between Unity and something else and Godot and whatever the fuck. They really don't know how to make a proper AI, a Rogue Engine component. So yeah, until I create the new tool, it's going to be really hard, you know. But yeah, I'm working on it. I'll be announcing when it comes out. But yeah, that's going to be the only real way to use Rogue Engine with an AI, like a proper way to use Rogue Engine with AI. Right now, it's maybe with the Copilot you can have like some sort of a, say, the hardest parts in three.js you can get them with Copilot probably. You don't have like a proper Rogue Engine integration there or anything. I mean, Copilot is not going to give me money, so fuck them. I'm not going to make them rich. Are you bots? What's the color of your underwear? Yeah, that's a good question. I can tell you've been here before. Yeah, there was you were here in the last live stream. Yeah. Yeah, my color of my underwear is gray. That's so I'm not a bot because I just told you that I have gray underwear. And and I looked and I made sure it was gray. So, I'm not an AI. I'm real. I'm a real boy. Yeah. So, oh my God. Yeah. So we derailed. I think this live stream, my idea was to begin with the AI talk and then go into development and just, make a game like we usually do. But we just ended up talking about AI and about licenses and about life and art and music, which is beautiful. I think it's amazing. I think this was a nice live stream because there was people here. Oh my God, there's people here. This is nice for a change. It should be a running bit of the stream. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should do it every single time. Always talk about what's the color of your underwear? Yeah. If you're not a bot, tell us what the color of your underwear is in the chat. Okay? Otherwise you're a bot. iSocket programming says it's becoming clearer that people will value much more the personal connection. When something is a commodity, there's no connection, there's just consumption. And who has the best price wins. Yeah. Yeah, and I think only when it's needed, right? When it's actually necessary. Because think about all the free games that exist. Think about all the free games out there. There's so many free games made by people, actual people who made them. And they put, their lives on the line sometimes to make them. And they're free to play. And you can pay for lives and things like that. Or maybe they're like £1, $1, or very, very cheap. And maybe you kind of like them, but you don't buy them. Why didn't you buy that game? Well, it didn't convince you. How will an AI game convince you to spend 40 hours of your life playing that game? If you have like nothing, if there's nothing that's sort of what's going to prompt you into going in and saying, yeah, I want to buy that. Because, the Levels.io thing, everyone went like, oh, everyone's, just jealous of him because he built it. Well, everyone's playing his game and he was making money because he was him. And he had just gone with through Lex Friedman's podcast. He got like so many new clients and so many new things. And he was in the eye of the storm in a way, right? He was right there in the center stage. And everyone was looking at him and he said, I'm just going to vibe code this game. It was really bad. It was terrible. It was absolutely bad. And he was selling shit for tons of money. And I celebrate that he did. You know what? Good on him. He just made a bunch of money out of people that had money to spend and just wanted to play the game with him, right? Just wanted to play his game. And his game was not really the game. His game was making money out of that. And I applaud that. Okay, you did that. Fantastic. But it's not really about what AI is capable of. It's about what Levels.io is capable of because of the community that he has around him and the people that he has around him. So it was Levels making a game. It was not about, AI making a game, because if it was about AI making a game, who would play that shit? Nobody, right? Nobody would play that shit. Remember people bashing the Unity games? Oh my god! Oh fucking hell! Oh, you remember that? You remember that? Oh my god! Oh, another Unity game. You see the Unity logo and you uninstall immediately. Remember that? Remember that? Do you? I mean, that was just not long ago. People were doing that. People were just uninstalling Unity games because they saw the Unity logo and just because this was made with the free Unity version. And we're worried that people are going to be buying AI games. Like making AI games, and people are not going to buy them, mate. People were bashing people making Unity games with their own hands. AI can't build a proper airplane game thing, right? I mean, no. And it's just stupid mechanic. And now we're worried about this, like, oh no, no. Please, let's be civil here. Let's think about this is a tool to help you get from point A to point B. But people always thinking, end all be all things, right? Right? It's just always about, being in a party, being on a side. I'm on the side of the good people. I'm the good guys. You are the bad guys, and I'm gonna crush you. That's what people think all the time. It's just stupid. It's just so stupid. I use Copilot. Mr. says I use Copilot currently to guide me on Rogue Engine. I had nice to know that. Nice to know that, because I read on. I haven't used Copilot. I mean, I used it, but I didn't like it much, so I kept using VS Code. But I had fun adding power-ups on top of your Arkanoid game. Nice. The Arkanoid tutorial. So you went through the Arkanoid tutorial. You added power-ups using Copilot. There you go. So that answers the question of this is a god dream. There's your question. There's your answer to your question. Yeah. How about that? And although it is still not polished, well, yeah, I mean that's tough. Mostly, I think the hardest part of polishing it is since you didn't make the code. Sometimes it's hard to polish it. That was my problem with it, at least I think. Right? This is I'm not you. I'm not building you. I'm not making your game, but. My problem with Copilot was that it was generating things that wasn't exactly what I needed. So when I needed to actually go and polish it, I didn't really feel any sort of, I didn't know what I was looking at. It was like going in and reviewing code, but I didn't know how data was being managed, how things were being mutated. And it was weird. It was just, it was not a person. You could tell it was not a person writing that. If you've been reviewing people's code, there's a weird thing about it. So it's hard to read also, right? If you feel no connection to that, it's hard to go into it and read it. And so I needed to ask for comments and, tell me what's going on. And yeah, it's a drag. It's a bit of a drag, right? And then you want to change that little bit and it gets like, well, this is not exactly what I need. And then I felt like you also kind of go into a loop of prompting again and again for bits of code instead of writing it yourself, when you could have written it yourself easily, but you just go into you get like lazy. You get very lazy. You sort of think like, yeah, but I could just prompt it. Why should I not prompt it? And you've been prompting for an hour and you didn't get done what you needed to do, and you could have done it already in 5 minutes. So yeah, it's like you're always challenging yourself. If maybe if I prompt differently, so you say, okay, I get better at prompting, so next time but next time it's just a different prompt, so it's but it's great to know you're using Copilot for this and you were able to build stuff for that, because that actually helps a lot of people if people are actually using Rogue Engine that way. If you want to use like a Rogue Engine with a Copilot, it's possible. There you go. That's fantastic to know. Well, not on Rogue Engine itself, on the JS side of things, like I know what I want, and I know where it should go, but I can't pinpoint how to implement it. Yeah, that's great. Like if you like a little algorithm, things like that. That's exactly that's something I've used AI for, definitely. Like when I don't want to think about this algorithm. Yeah, just search this and in this here, how they, and gives me a one-liner for something. I don't want to think about that one-liner right now. I'm stressed. I need to go and I need to do this right now, and I just want to know if it works or not. And I have this one-liner that I need, and I just go, yeah, just write me this algorithm. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah. I said, yeah, I ended up refactoring most. It's still messy, right? Still messy going about this. Yeah, I ended up refactoring most of it, but since I'm still just starting on it, it helps a lot to know how the logic works. So I know how to implement it in my own way. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Like, that's a good point. When you're using AI to make anything, it's not the same just writing telling an AI, do this. And then, that's why I don't like the vibe code approach. It's just, vibe code it. Just let AI write shit for you. Because if you're not actually reading the code and knowing what's going on, maybe it's just instantiating objects all the time. And you know that's bad. You know that's going to that's going to make the garbage collector or some part of the game loop go, whoa, boom, and you're going to get a frame drop. So knowing that, for instance, hey, this needs to be optimized, because I know I have asked the AI to, the LLM to do this thing when I was trying mostly the component approach. I was saying, trying to prompt engineer my way into telling it to kind of reuse objects everywhere when necessary, find ways to sort of instantiate things once and reuse them. Get like that one vector and reuse it everywhere you can. Get that one object and reuse it everywhere you can. And it was drag. It was a massive drag. It didn't do it anywhere. So it was a pain, it was just go new object 3D, new vector 3, new that. And then the garbage collector goes and bashes you in the head. Frame drop. This is the God Dream says, interesting, thanks for the reply, Missy. So you have Copilot guide you and you follow us as opposed to AI generating and implemented the code itself. That's a question for you, Missy. So you let Copilot guide you, or you let it implement the thing itself? That's a good question there. Like what's your approach to building it? That's a good question to ask. Like, how are you actually using it? Because it's I think it's what actually makes it. I see I use oh, what no. So wait, here's the thing. My chat, like the chat here I get in the chat widget I get, is lower than the chat I get for the stream. So I still haven't seen the answer. I see that there's something written here by Misu, but I don't yet have it here in my chat widget. So I can't see it. I have to go read it there. It says, yes, I use Copilot and VS Code to guide me, because most of the time the Copilot will give you something that won't work since it has no idea what Rogue Engine has. Yeah, that's been my experience exactly. That's been my experience exactly. And if you have been using, like, if you have like the other one, the code editor one, I don't remember the name, but the code editor thing, and there's Devin and there's these other ones, I don't remember the name. But yeah, those are really interesting to try it on. Like, I'd be interested to know how that works. But yeah, I mean, just to get an algorithm or something they're working out, I think that's interesting. That's an interesting approach to go by. Oh, by the way, I didn't say it once in the whole video, but please like the video. If you're on YouTube, well, if you're on Twitch, go to YouTube and like it and subscribe as well. That really helps. And if you have a Twitch account, follow me there. Help me there on Twitch. I'm trying to get to 50 followers there on Twitch. But yeah, thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following on Twitch. Thank you for supporting the channel in that way, and for being there, for all your questions, interacting in the chat. I see that this has made people interact in the chat, which is great. Usually people don't interact in the chat, and this has been a fantastic live stream, because I think it's all about you and me interacting, right? It's talking to each other. I think this makes it way better. It makes it really much more interesting to be here. Even though, yeah, right now we have fewer people. I think a lot of people have left. But yeah, I recommend, if you haven't watched the whole thing, I recommend actually going back and watching the beginning. I think the beginning was the most important bit. And the beginning to the middle there, I don't know, I started talking about licenses. If you haven't been here, I talked about the licenses and my idea about how licenses are going to look in the future. But basically, I'm thinking about lifetime licenses for versions, and my thought around that. We talked about that. We talked about how I think about the business model of Rogue Engine, how it should work, and how software is now rented in a strange way. And I believe that we should go for a reform here and sort of say, hey, maybe we give out lifetime licenses for a major version, and then you get to upgrade for, get to pay an upgrade fee, or sometimes maybe, I don't know, maybe it's okay, maybe we've done it fairly quickly and we can do a no upgrade fee, sort of like Blackmagic Design does with DaVinci, which they have had free upgrades for a while. And if they charged me $150 for an upgrade, I wouldn't complain. I mean, it's amazing product. It's cheap as fuck. So, I mean, for the amount of shit that I get from it, I mean, my wife uses it all the time. It's incredible. So, paying for it, it's a no-brainer. And it's free as well, right? You can use it for free, and you get a bunch of this stuff it has for free. So I think a model like that, I go inspired by it. I'm gonna say it. I actually go inspired by the DaVinci model here, in a way, but also by the DOS model. We talked about the model of DOS, different DOS, and how they handle this and their business model. And yeah, I want to be fair. I want to be fair. I want Rogue Engine to survive, but I also want to be like, a force of good if I can, right? I don't need to attach myself to practices that I don't think are great. I know there's always the fear of, okay, is this going to keep surviving into the future? If I don't charge, I keep charging, and people, keep using the services. But then if I offer the AI part as a separate thing, hey, these are new AI packages, you can buy them, and I have a margin on that. So, okay, I can keep developing Rogue Engine, and maybe, okay, because that's the point. If maybe a lot of people are buying some of the credits to use AI, then I can keep developing Rogue Engine, and I can give out free upgrades and things like that for people who bought the license. And maybe you upgrade your license because, okay, you're earning more than X amount, and then you go, okay, I have to upgrade my license, and you pay for the upgrade of the license itself, right, of the tier of the license, and that's okay too. So yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts. This was a great live stream. This was a great stream, and I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, I don't get some of the. I think I'm not getting some of the comments here. Some of your comments, I think I'm not getting them. So I think some of the chats don't arrive here in the widget. So that's, yeah, I probably missed some of your chats, because now I'm seeing like some of the stuff is not here. And some of the comments in the chat window, like in the window here, like right beside here, are not in my widget. Yeah, I see Mrs. comment here saying, so yeah, I just base the implementation on Copilot's logic. Simply put, I'm still doing most of the coding. Yeah. That's the key. You are in control, you know what you're doing, and you are filling the skill gaps, or like just saying, okay, I don't want to write this down because it will take me time. And the AI can do it faster because it's a simple 5-line algorithm. So hey, just write this function and does this and this. Okay, yeah. But you need to know what the fuck you're doing to write that function down. And maybe the AI does it really fast. You don't need to think about it. It's sort of like a calculator. You know what a multiplication is, but you don't need to do it in your brain. You need to calculate, this long number by this long number. Just use a calculator. But you know what multiplication is. You need to know where to use that multiplication. You need to know that a multiplication is needed. So it's technology, right? If technology is a multiplication itself, then the actual multiplication can be automated. So I think that's the key here, right? What are you automating, and what are you still in control of? So having more control and automating the parts that you don't really need to have control of. They're automatic, really. They're more valuable if they're automatic, I guess. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we talked a lot about all of these things. We talked about AI, the importance of AI. We talked about how AI can be good and it can be really bad, and it can how we need to be honest about it. How some people are shit and they try to just sell us shit, and that's all they care about. And that I'll never lie to you. I will never lie to you. I will tell you the truth. I will not say, yeah, this is the perfect thing and it will not happen. And if it doesn't do the thing you want, it's because you are the problem. No. And use AI or die. That's not, no. You're still valuable with or without AI. You're still valuable. You still have a lot of value to give. If you're being creative and building creative shit and making beauty adding beauty to the world, you are valuable, 100% valuable. So that's what I believe. I think. Yeah, I don't think we should be maximalists about anything. We're on one side or the other. We should always be also kind and understand, where people come from with the things they believe in. And I think most of the people going about AI, they're just chasing clout, and they're just trying to make the world a place where they have more money, and that's all they want. So, and it's very clear, it's very transparent. So I don't want to partake in that. I'm just going to follow the route where I try to make you better at what you do, and I tell you what the limitations are, and I'm honest about it. And yeah, everyone else who thinks different, who thinks like, oh no, you should actually sell AI like it's the ultimate thing in the world. Well, yeah, I don't care about you. That's the thing. So I'd rather be honest. And I hope we can build things that help you regardless of what technology they're made with, right? If it helps you and I can make it and I know it's helping you, it's useful, then I'm happy with it. Yes, let's go. That's where we want to go. It's something that helps. And yeah, that's it for today. I think we've gone long enough. And we didn't code one line of code. We didn't make any games. We didn't do anything. I thought we were going to end the AI talk and the stuff talk, but I see that the chat was booming with questions and thoughts of amazing things. So I'm so happy about that. And thank you for being there. Thank you for talking to me today. It's nice. I hope we can do more of these live streams talking about maybe something else. And yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll see. Maybe I can do another live stream like with someone, like we can do like sort of interview or something like that with someone building something cool, that would be really cool too. So yeah, that would be actually really awesome. Maybe talk about these things with someone else as well. Oh, here we go. Yeah, look at that. There's SquarePeg. SquarePeg makes games. SquarePeg. You know, SquarePeg is an interesting thing. SquarePeg. It kind of comes and goes. You know, you see SquarePeg one day, SquarePeg disappears, just vanishes, and then SquarePeg like comes back and looks and says, "All right," and leaves, and then comes back and looks, and very interesting. It's like a grounding mechanism for me. You know, the way when SquarePeg shows up, I remember I'm still human. You know, I'm still alive, and life's still happening. You know, so thank you for being here with SquarePeg. You remind me that, you know, life's still moving, and you're still there, and it's amazing. You know, checking in, SquarePeg checking in. Thanks for checking in, SquarePeg. And yeah, I'm about to leave, but hey, thank you for being there again. Thank you for this amazing live stream. I had a great time, and I hope we can see you in the next one, eh? All right? Bye-bye. Keep making games. Keep making shit, okay? Go and be creative. Go. Be free.